In a quiet town nestled between rolling hills and meandering rivers, there lived a boy named Arjun. Arjun was known throughout the town, not for his brilliance or his ambition, but for his laziness. Every morning, while the sun painted the sky with hues of gold, Arjun would lie in bed long after the world had awakened, his mind drifting in dreams of adventure and greatness, yet his body unmoved and reluctant. His room was a testament to his ways. Clothes strewn across the floor, books gathering dust on the shelves, and half-finished projects abandoned in every corner. Arjun's parents worried about his future and tried many ways to encourage him. They reminded him of the value of hard work, shared stories of great achievers, and even set small tasks for him around the house. But Arjun always found reasons to postpone, to wait for the right moment, or simply to avoid the discomfort of effort. His favorite phrase was, "I'll do it tomorrow." And so, days turned into weeks and weeks into months with little change. One evening, Arjun's grandfather, who was wise and gentle, came to visit. He sat beside Arjun as the sky darkened outside and asked, "What dreams do you hold in your heart, my boy?" Arjun, surprised by the question, hesitated. He whispered, "I want to be someone who creates, someone who inspires, but I'm just not good at starting things." His grandfather smiled kindly and said, "Great mountains are climbed with small steps, not leaps. The most powerful changes begin with the smallest habits." Arjun was puzzled. How could something small change his life? His grandfather continued, "Let me tell you a story. When I was a young boy, I too was lazy. I wanted to learn to paint, but I found the effort overwhelming. Then my teacher gave me a challenge. Paint a single stroke on canvas every day, nothing more. At first, it seemed pointless. A stroke was hardly a painting. But as days passed, the strokes grew. Soon I found myself painting shapes, then colors, and before I knew it, I had filled the canvas. It was not the leap, but the daily step that made me a painter." Arjun pondered this wisdom. It sounded almost too simple. That night, he decided to try for himself. He chose the smallest habit he could think of, making his bed the moment he woke up. The next morning, as sunlight crept through his window, Arjun slowly pushed away his blanket and, with a yawn, straightened his sheets. It took less than a minute, but something felt different. The room seemed less chaotic, and he felt a small sense of accomplishment. Encouraged, he added another small habit the following week, reading a single page from a book each day. He chose a novel that had been gathering dust on his shelf. At first, it felt trivial. What could one page a day accomplish? But as days slipped by, the story began to unfold, and Arjun was drawn into its world. He found himself reading 2 pages, then 3, and soon, chapters at a time. Little by little, Arjun's life began to shift. He started placing his dirty clothes in the laundry basket each evening. He spent 5 minutes tidying his desk before bed. These actions were so small that they hardly felt like changes, but they built upon each other, forming a foundation of order and discipline. One afternoon, his friend Ravi came by to visit. As they talked, Ravi noticed the neatness of Arjun's room and the stack of books he had finished reading. "You've changed," Ravi remarked, surprised. Arjun smiled, realizing that the transformation had not been sudden or dramatic, but gentle and steady. A ripple that had grown into a wave. As weeks passed, Arjun's confidence grew. He set his next goal, to write a story, just 1 sentence a day. On the first day, he stared at a blank page, unsure of what to write. But he remembered his grandfather's words and scribbled a single sentence. The next day, another sentence. The story grew slowly but surely, weaving together his thoughts and dreams. Before long, he had written a short tale, his own creation. Arjun's teachers noticed his newfound diligence and praised his efforts. His parents, once worried, smiled with pride. And his grandfather, who visited often, would sit beside him and listen to the stories Arjun had written, his eyes twinkling with joy. The change in Arjun was not magic, nor was it the result of a sudden burst of energy. It was the power of small habits, tiny decisions repeated day after day that gradually transformed his life. He learned that greatness did not require grand gestures. It grew from consistent, humble beginnings. With each small habit, Arjun's world expanded. He signed up for art classes, remembering his grandfather's story. He volunteered to help classmates with their homework. He woke up earlier, feeling the pull of possibility in the morning air. The lazy boy, once known for his avoidance of effort, became a quiet inspiration to those around him. His friends began to ask, "How did you change?" Arjun would smile and share his secret. Start with something small. Don't wait for motivation or the perfect moment. Just do one tiny thing every day. Over time, you'll be amazed by how much you can achieve. The town, too, noticed the change. Arjun's story spread among neighbors and teachers, a gentle reminder that even the slowest beginnings can blossom into remarkable journeys. Children who struggled with motivation were encouraged to try small habits, inspired by Arjun's example. One evening, Arjun sat by his window looking out at the stars. He thought about how far he had come and how the smallest actions had shaped his path. He felt grateful for his grandfather's wisdom and for the slow, steady growth that had led him to a life of purpose and joy. In time, Arjun's story became a legend in the town, a tale parents shared with their children, teachers with their students. The lazy boy who discovered the power of small habits had shown everyone that no matter where you start, change is possible. It is not the size of your actions that matters, but the consistency with which you practice them. And so the message spread. Start small. Begin today. Let your habits, however tiny, guide you toward the life you dream of. For in the gentle repetition of daily choices lies the surprising power to transform not only yourself, but the world around you.